Grant.
So, Charu sir, Benedict ma'am, we have Ms. Avni Trivedi and Ms. Himali from Join-in Campus. Hi, Avni ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
We are good, ma'am. I'm good. I'm good. So,
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Hi, Charu, how are you?
Good, good, good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Hi,
We
Benedict.
have Benedict Farb
Hi, Charu.
today. Yeah, hi, Himali. So she's head of international director for FIGS Education. And Benedict, Join-in Campus is a very old and very prestigious agency in India. And they have multiple offices abroad also. And their core focus is on France since so many years.
Yeah, I think I know this this company so far.
Yeah.
Quite famous.
yeah. So we are just waiting for the associates to join in, and once everybody is here, probably Himali would inform us to start with the presentation.
So, Rohit, it's more a training session, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Namaskar, David sir.
Namaskar,
कसे आहात?
Majiet. Sorry, I'm in the process of doing two things at the same time. Sorry. There we are. Done.
Hi, David.
Namaskar, Rohit sir.
This time I'm not bothering you on a weekend. That's a new.
Well, I guess we'll be meeting this weekend again.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
How are you doing?
Doing fine. Doing fine.
What is the weather like?
It's getting on the summer side of the year. It's not no more cold as of like it should be. So February is like the start of summer.
Our definition of winter and cold is quite different than yours.
Yes. I was discussing with the students yesterday about how they felt the cold. And yes, definitely, they said, I have never been as cold as that in my life.
Himali, please let us know like when should we start with the presentation?
Sure, Rohit. Let the participants join. I think we can start in 1 to 2 minutes. I think we can start the session now, Rohit.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. I'm Rohit from IDRAC Business School India Campus, and I welcome you for today's meeting, which is for program and institute briefing to all the associates and counselors from joining campus. Today with me, I have our speakers from France as well as IDRAC India Campus. So I have Mr. Charudatta Bodhankar, who is the Executive Director of IDRAC Business Schools India Campus. Charu sir is an alumni of IIM Kolkata. He is also an Erasmus Plus approved faculty for economics and has been visiting European colleges and universities in his last few years. He has over 25 years of experience in the fields of IT, education, BFSI, finance, and FMCG. So he's the Executive Director of IDRAC India Campus. And I welcome him on board for the presentation today. Then I have Benedict ma'am from FIGS Education, France. She's the Director of International Development for FIGS. Benedict ma'am is also been the one major support system for us at the IDRAC India Campus when it comes to programs and admissions. So she's also an alumnus of IDRAC Business School from the Lyon campus. I have one very dear friend of mine from France, Professor David Parker. So Professor David Parker is a permanent faculty of law and economics with the business strategy department at IDRAC's Bordeaux campus. And he's the associate project director for IDRAC India campus. He's a lawyer by profession and a guitarist by passion. So I welcome you, David, for the presentation. I welcome Benedict ma'am. And I now request Benedict ma'am to address the session about FIGS, about HEP education, and about France as a higher education destination. I'm sorry, I just missed on a couple of things. So David, Benedict ma'am, and Charu sir, we have Avni ma'am from Join-in Campus, as well as I have Himali, who's been the point of contact, who has been helping me in promoting our programs with Join-in Campus. So I thank them at the very onset for arranging today's session. And let's now look forward for the presentation. So Benedict ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Rohit. Thank you very much. Thank you for spending time with us. I've been in international relations for over 25 years now. And indeed, so I am supervising international development, enrollment, student exchanges, partnership, double degree, joint programs for a private education group in France. The name is FIGS Education. This is the umbrella brand we use. And we'll go through this presentation and you will see that we have some options for an English-speaking student, because you can study in France in English, you know that already. And I have a team of 40 people working with me. We have a branch office worldwide. And recently we set up this branch office in India. Because we know that we have more and more Indian students choosing France as a study destination. So there is a market for us. So FIGS Education, basically it is an alliance of different schools, one school, one major. And altogether we have 20 schools. One school is covering one study areas, to make it simple. I give you an example. We have IDRAC Business School. IDRAC Business School is providing marketing, management, and sales programs. And so one school, one major, and altogether we have 10 campus sites in France, including Paris and including other cities in France. So this group of school belongs to a strong alliance which is called HEP. It's a bit complicated, but what you need to understand is that we are a group of schools, a private group of schools. We share some premises together, we share some campuses together, we share the same values. And above, on the top, you have the same board and same people on the top, same president, and and different schools. So HEP is the name of the alliance. Again, we have 10 campuses in France. We have a large number of alumni. It's we're due to the age of the school, we've been graduating some students for many years already, we have also, but I'll go back to this later on. We have the strong connection with the business world, so we have many partner companies working with us. This is it's going a bit fast. The slide. Wow. This map is a nice map of our schools. Basically, you have under HEP, which is the alliance, you have two private education groups. Okay, it's a bit complicated, but I want you to understand. On the right, you have a group called IGS, which is quite famous for what we call the alternance. You know, the idea that you would work and study at the same time. So, in France, 30 or 40 years ago, people from the higher education system thought that it was smart to learn at school, but it is also good to learn being in a company. So we have a system in France, and I think that you're familiar with it, where you can work and study at the same time. And IGS is probably the president of this group is probably part of the people who invented this possibility to work and study at the same time. So on one hand, you have IGS group with the schools belonging to IGS. On the other hand, on the left side of the slide, you have Compétences et Développement, which is another group. Altogether, what you need to understand is that this school belongs to Fixed Education and to the alliance called HEP. Okay, so in terms of enrollment, in terms of registration, any international student willing to come to study in our schools will have to go through Fixed Education, which is my duty and which is my department. So Fixed Education, we have 20 schools available for international students. Available means that we can accommodate international students in these schools. Altogether, we have 24,000 students. In these 24,000 students, you have full-time students, you have part-time students, you have executive education, and you have international students. We have, of course, a large range of alumni, not just French, but alumni coming from international destinations. And we have partner companies, because as we are vocational training, as we are very connected with the business world, we do have some partner companies where our student can do internship, or can find a job, or can do part-time job. And we have 10 campuses in France, including Paris and other cities like Lyon, maybe you know it, which is 2 hours from Paris, close to Geneva. Higher education in France, if you work with France, you already know that we have undergrad, 3 years duration, bachelor, licence, okay, postgrad, master, MSc, MBA programs. We do not provide any doctoral programs, so if you have students willing to come to study with us, it will be only undergrad or postgraduate student, master student, or bachelor student. Master is 2 years duration. Sometimes it is 1 year duration, especially when we have international programs. It can be 1 year duration because it's sort of MSc or MBA in 3 semesters. So it's a big academic year, and then comes internship and project. We have a major intake, which is September and October. This is our major intake. However, and for many reasons, but also for international purposes, we decided to open some intake in, we call it rentrée décalée, which is postponed intake, which is between Feb and sometimes March. So for programs taught in English, you will have, we have a list of programs, and some of them will offer the possibility to join for spring intake and not just fall intake. We have 2 semesters. One semester is equivalent to 60 CCS, you know it already. 2 semesters with final examination. And usually August is totally holidays. But usually holidays are during July and August, but sometimes students take advantage of this time to do internship. So in many of our schools, in many of our programs, June, July, and August are usually dedicated to internship. You know that internship is paid in France. As long as it is more than 2 months, students get more than 500 euros per month, but I'll get back to this later on. We have 2 types of courses. We have core courses, lectures, and we also have some labs, group works, small groups, where students are, you know, like 12 or 15 students working on project, business cases, languages courses, and, you know, we have limited size of courses. Grading system, you know that we grade students above 20, and passing grade is 10 out of 20. Below 10, they fail. Above 10, they pass. You need to understand that in France, getting above 16 out of 20 is just outstanding. Never expect to get 20 out of 20, because that is not the way we grade in France. So, I mean, between 12, 13, 14, 15 out of 20, it is still a good grade. So these are some schools part of fixed education. I think I have time to make a short description of each of these schools, Rohit. So IDRAC Business School. IDRAC Business School is our flagship school. Okay, you know that we have what we call a grande école system, which is Ivy League. You know, you have a ranking of the best business schools in France. Altogether, you have 32 schools, part of this Grande École family, Ivy League. And IDRAC is part of this Ivy League, of this Grande École family. So it means that academically speaking, it's a good school, good ranking, good accreditation. And also the good point is that recently, we joined this platform Études en France, which means that when student applies for IDRAC Business School, well, there is a sort of a fast track in terms of a Campus France process, because we are on this platform where we are connected to Campus France, and there will be no interview with Campus France as long as they pre-validate the application that the student will download on the website, and then automatically it goes on our platform, and then we take interview directly us, and then student have to go to consulate. So what I mean is that thanks to this accreditation, thanks of the fact that IDRAC is Grade de Master is accredited, is part of this Grande École family, we now on from this year have a fast track system as far as the Campus France process is concerned, and the student will save many time and many energy. This does mean that we need to have a non-qualified application. We will still be screening the application, and my office in India, the team at IDRAC India, will obviously be screening the application, because it goes directly on the system of Campus France, and we have, this is year 1, and they will be testing us, and we really need to be careful in terms of academic level of the student. Otherwise, they will take off. They will stop this partnership, and we will have to go to normal process, which take ages. So getting back to IDRAC Business School, flagship school, business, marketing, and management program. Again, sales, business, marketing, and management programs with majors, because we do provide majors, especially international majors for international students, like wine industry programs, luxury industry, international business. This school has 9 campuses in France. including Bordeaux. Bordeaux is a campus which is on the west side of the map, and which is quite famous for wine. That is the reason why we launched our MBA in wine industry in Bordeaux, and we also decided to launch the other program, an MBA in international business. So it's a campus which is quite a English-speaking campus, and we have some options of English programs in Bordeaux. Then comes Grenoble, which is a smaller campus. Lyon is also a possibility where our student can study in English. So you will have some options for your student to study in English in Lyon campus. While we have a Grande École program, which is a flagship program. It's a master in 2 years, M1, M2. Montpellier, Nantes, Nice, Paris, and Toulouse, other campus, but where programs are only taught in French. So if you want to make it simple for you, IDRAC Business School will be available at Bordeaux and Lyon, where we provide some undergrad and postgraduate programs fully taught in English. This school number 2 is a 3A. 3A is a niche school. It's because it is fully dedicated to not just international relations, but more into humanitarian careers, NGO, people willing to work in NGO or in developing countries like, for example, African countries, So it's a business school, but with a focus on social entrepreneurship, social NGO, humanitarian, geopolitics. So it's really it's a school which has a real DNA in I would say social entrepreneurship. They provide undergrad and postgraduate programs, and there is a program which is taught in English in Bachelor in Lyon, where students can join 3A and study in English, and have this focus on on international organization and social entrepreneurship. CFAM. CFAM is it's also an interesting school. It's also a niche school because it's an American business school. Nothing is in French. It's an American school. Everything is in English. Credit or American credits. It's like if you study in the US, but you're located in Lyon. It's not a typical French business school. It is an American business school located in France, located in Lyon. The good point with this school is that you can end up in the US in an accredited AACSB university after 3 years in Lyon, because the bachelor is 4 years duration. It's an American bachelor. It's a BBA in 4 years. So it's a 3+1 pathway where they start in Lyon in English and then switch final year in an ACSB accredited university. They have a choice of 5 universities in US. All of them are accredited ACSB, and they top up 1 year in the US and graduate, get 2 degrees. The American degree, the American bachelor, ACSB accredited, plus the bachelor CFAM. So at the end of the day, they get 2 degrees, and the student get very, very good position, very good job at the end. I've seen the alumni of this school because my son did this business school, and I must say that it's an interesting track. And the good point is that in terms of tuition fees, they have the regular tuition fees while being in France. Approximate tuition fees are around 9,000 euros per year, and they only have to pay the final year in the US tuition fees. But at the end of the day, they get a bachelor, an American bachelor, ACS accredited, at a lower cost, because they will have paid 3 years in France and only 1 year in the US. So they save money quite a lot, and they graduate from an American degree and a French degree at the end of the day. So I think it's a quite interesting pathway for Indian students willing to end up in the US if they wish. Other option is to stay 4 years in France at C Familiaux and only graduate from a French degree and start working in France. IFAG is quite famous in France for entrepreneurship. If you speak French and if you read the baseline, l'École de l'entrepreneuriat, this school has recently been ranked #1 in terms of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means, take over a company, open your own consultancy, take over the company of your father, anything connected to, setting up your own business. We have an MBA at IFAG, which is an MBA in entrepreneurship. We have quite a large number of Indian students graduating from this school. They do well. They do very well. They open their own consultancy or they work in Europe. One of them is working with us. It's part of my team and it's located in Paris. And then we have an IT school, IT EPSI. EPSI has been created 40 years ago by people from the IT sector. 40 years or 50 years ago, they thought that we needed some people with the skills of IT. And so these people from the IT business decided to create a school called EPSI. And the good point is that, it's a good combination of theory and practice. And I must say that a student graduating from EPSI MBA really find a job sometimes before graduation, but because you all know that, the IT sector is booming, especially due to COVID. Everything is online, everything is on computer, everything is, digital. So student graduating from this school, it's an MBA in IT, which is fully taught in English, find a job quite easily. The program is offered on our campus in Paris, and it's quite successful for an Indian student. ICD. I remember the first school called IDRAC Business School, which is flagship school, part of the Ivy League, Grande École family. Well, ICD is also a business school, regular business school, international business development. They've been accredited recently by EFMD, accreditation body. They're located in Paris, and the same way IDRAC Business School is quite academic. Well, ICD is the same profile with a focus on possibly more in business development programs. They provide MSc programs, which are accredited Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is a good recognition. I would say that the difference between IDRAC Business School and ICD Business School, although they're quite similar, quite twins, IDRAC, as far as English program are concerned, IDRAC will provide programs in English in Lyon and Bordeaux, and ICD will provide programs in English in Paris. And we all know that the city sometimes the choice of the city is also quite important for our students. So just to make it simple for you, we have programs in English for a business flagship school called ICD in Paris. So if you, this is an Excel sheet, which is just to make it simple for you, where you have the school on the left, the city, where a student will study, the name of the program, the intake, when do classes start, and then, which level can you arrive. If it is level number 1, it means that it is first year. If it is third year level, so the intake, the possibility of the intake, and then tuition fees. It is in euro. We have this first option at Pune in India. We opened this campus now 4 years ago in Pune, an IDRAC campus in Pune, where the idea was to start in India and end up in France, graduate in France. So this Bachelor IDRAC the good point is that students start in Pune, do 1 year, 2 years in Pune. It's copy and paste the same courses operated in France, but we deliver them in Pune. We do some online teaching also, of course, and David, who is attending this seminar, will explain you how it is delivered. But so they start in India and then automatic departure to France as long as they complete the full track in India in Pune. So the campus in Pune is copy and paste an IDRAC campus, and the departure is automatic for France as long as they complete full track in Pune, and they finalize their 3rd year, which is the year of the graduation in Lyon campus, do 1 year in Lyon, which is the 3rd year, and then graduate. Degree is fully recognized by the Ministry of Education, and then students have the possibility to continue for a master degree or start looking for a job. We have also a 3A, which is, remember, the School of Entrepreneurship, with a focus on NGO, sustainable developing countries, doing business with developing countries, and also more humanitarian activities. The campus is in Lyon, and we have this possibility for a student having completed at least 2 years of undergrad to end up and do a 3rd year at 3A, final year bachelor, and again graduate from an official degree recognized by the state with a focus on social entrepreneurship. CFAM, it's a 4 years BBA program. Remember that you have 2 options. You have these options to end up in the US, 3+1, and graduate from a bachelor accredited ACSB. Cost you more because you have to pay this final year in the US, but still it's low cost. Or you have this possibility to do 4 years in France at CFAM and graduate from a degree which is a RNCP, which allow you to stay in France and look for a job and have visa extension. Then comes the master programs. Grande École program. Remember that when it is written Grande École, it's Ivy League. It means accreditation and it means ranking. So you have different options. You have options at IDRAC and you have options at ICD. They also have a campus in Toulouse, which is South France, close to the Spanish border. Grande École program duration must be 2 years. It cannot be less because we have this accreditation. And to deliver the degree, master degree to students have to do at least 2 years in France in the school on campus. We only have intake in September, and then again, it's a 2 years duration. We might think about doing some scholarship on these programs, Charu and Rohit, because I would like to increase the applications on Grande École programs. So I might get back to you with a scholarship on this Grande École program.
Okay, ma'am.
And then come master degrees. So Grande École program, remember, are master degrees, but they're 2 years duration and they're specific programs. We have master degrees, which are more, we call them either MBA or MSc. MBA programs are usually between 1 to 1.5 years duration, between 12 to maximum 18 months duration. They are more applied than Grande École program. The difference between Grande École program and MBA program is Grande École program is supposed to be more into academic and research orientated, and MBA programs are much more, I would say, applied and, if I must say, possibly connected to the business world. So we have 2 options for IDRAC in Bordeaux. One of them is into wine business management, so it's still a business program, but with a focus on wine industry, you know, how to run a business in wine, in business in wine. Or the second one is a major in business development. So basically it's one program with core courses, and then we have 2 majors. We split the group in 2, student willing to study more wine industry business and student willing to study more international business development. We have 2 intakes. One intake is September, October, we need to finalize the date, and then second intake for spring, which is more Feb, March. EPSI, which is IT, MBA in IT, duration is 18 months. It's located in Paris. We provide 2 intakes similarly, fall and spring, September and April. It may be September, October, and Feb, March, depending. We need to finalize again the academic dates, and the team in at IDRAC India at Pune will give you the exact dates. Then we have ICD in Paris, which is it's an MSc so far. They moved to Rohit, they moved to an MSc in international business, and we have IFAG, which is an MBA in entrepreneurship. Recently, we will open another major in 2023, which might be a major in luxury management. I'm thinking of opening this major for full, but it's not sure. So IFAG, up until today, is an MBA in entrepreneurship, but possibly we'll open a second major in luxury management at the same time. I'll get back to you. So basically, you have 5 MBA programs, 1 MBA, 1 major, and campuses. So you have 2 options. Remember that we have a campus at Pune, where we prepare students to end up in France, either both. I mean, it can be undergrad or postgrad. That we prepare them. It's not just we prepare them. They do intensive classes of French, which is important. They study. It's like being in France, but they're in India, but they study on the French format, the French model. So they're getting familiar to the the French way of teaching and delivering classes. Or we have direct entry student coming directly from India to France without going through India campus, IDRAC India campus. So you have 2 options, 2 possibilities. This will depend on the profile of your student, obviously. There is not one good way of joining us. It's 2 possibilities, 2 options, and it depends on the academic profile of the student, the commitment of the student, the age of the student, the finance of the student. So please, according to the applications you have, I invite you to contact these people, especially Rohit and his team, and they will guide you through this. But I want you to consider these 2 options, because if we have these 2 options, I mean, both of them are worth it. Voila, you tell me if I continue or not, but this is this is the pathway for undergrad bachelor program. Do I continue, Rohit?
Yes, ma'am. Just a couple of more slides and then.
Okay. So this bachelor program with this pathway starting at IDRAC India, that is very simple. You start the 2 years at IDRAC India campus instead of starting from scratch in France, year 1, year 2, year 3, paying full accommodation, being very young, not mature enough, no French, blah, blah, blah. So they start at IDRAC India campus. They do the 2 years, year 1, bachelor, year 2, bachelor. They do some intensive French. So they start learning French. They start getting used to, the way we teach in France. And then after these 2 years, they switch to final year in France, Bac+3, final year bachelor, 3rd year. And they do 1 year in France, 60 CTS. They have to complete full 60 CTS. They have a project, they have an internship, and if they complete the full track, then they graduate from a French bachelor degree recognized by the ministry. The good point is, for me, especially at undergrad level, is that we all know that after high school, students are very young, not really mature. It's leaving India for France is an adventure. It's quite challenging. So if they're more mature, if they know a bit French, if they've studied the French way, well, we all know that when they arrive in France, the success rate will be much more higher than if from scratch at 17 or 18 years old, they leave the family and they arrive in France. So it's a good way graduate from a French degree at low cost, because 2 years in India, it's not 2 years in France. And at the end of the day, you get the degree, which is the French degree, exactly the same way as if you started in France from scratch. So it's a 2+1. Now comes the postgraduate option, where talking about MBA, Master Degrees program. This option is available for a student with a undergrad completed. Sorry, this is to continue at master level, right?
Yes, ma'am. So BSc plus 3, the students can join. Yeah, BSc plus 3. Yeah. And if the BSc plus 4 is done, say a 4-year degree program, then they can join directly for the M2 for our France programs, direct entry.
Exactly. So for student with so we have this possibility for student with undergrad program completed to join a sort of a fast track M1 at IDRAC India Pune, where they do an intensive year, 60 CTS in 6 months. We will prepare them. Again, they have intensive French, they have classes, online classes, they have some visiting prof, as long as COVID is gone. They have it's our program operated in India, and they join 2nd year master in France, where they complete the MBA, and then they graduate from a French master degree, which is equivalent to a Bac +5 master degree, titre RNCP, and they have this automatic visa extension. When you graduate from a Bac +5, a titre RNCP, a master degree in France, you have this 2 years visa extension, and students take advantage of this visa extension to either start their professional career in France, or launch their own consultancy, or look for a position in Europe, or go back to India. Anyway, they graduate from a French degree. Then, so there is the option to go directly to France and join our programs, provided that you have the prerequisite. So people, the team, Rohit's team will give you the prerequisite, but they join directly our programs in France, and they complete full programs in France. And obviously, it's a full track, and they graduate from this program, which can be an MBA or an MSc in IT, or in entrepreneurship, or in business development, or in wine industry, whatsoever. They complete full tracks in France, and they graduate from the French degree, and they do not go through IDRAC India campus. It's an automatic departure to France, as long as they have the prerequisite for a departure, an automatic departure to France. And again, with this master degree, titre RNCP, they have this possibility of visa extension.
So Benedict ma'am, now we'll proceed towards the bachelor's programs and master's programs, which are available in direct entry model. After that, we have Professor David's address about IDRAC Business School and the programs from IDRAC, followed by Charu sir, who would be addressing about the IDRAC India campus and the advantages for IDRAC India students. So I request you to take these few slides which are related to our direct programs.
Okay, so getting back to our school called named 3A. Originally, 3A used to mean Asia, Africa, and America. The baseline, we don't speak French, but it means that it is the School of Social Entrepreneurship. Again, students willing to work in social development, or willing to work in, set up a business in developing countries, or, looking for a job in an NGO, are more than welcome to apply to this school. The only thing is that the program is in English, is only the final year bachelor. So they will have to come with at least 2 years of undergraduate completed in a business school, or in business, because this will be the prerequisite to switch to a final year bachelor, which is a bachelor in business with a focus on social development and social entrepreneurship. Have a look
Benedict,
into-
you meant to say a student can come to third year directly from India if he has
Of
done
course.
2 years in India,
Exactly.
and the fees would be 9,000 euro for the third year. And if he
Exactly.
does the third year in France, he gets the full bachelor's degree.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, it's we call it's sort of an articulation pathway where they, you know, they have completed some credits in India, at least 2 years in the business school, and then we will take these credits, we'll check the modules, and if, I mean, it is more or less mapping to our content, our programs, our expectations. Well, we have an admission in third year, a final admission in third year, because we will transfer the credit and the transcript into the final year 3A. So the duration will only be 1 year in English, in Lyon, and then they graduate if they complete full credits at 3A. Tuition fees are 9,000 euro for 1 year. CFAM. CFAM is this 4 years BBA, American Business School, remember, full track in Lyon, or 3 years in Lyon and 1 year in the US in an ACSB accredited university. Students have 2 options.
CFAM, they can join for first year also?
They can join, they must,
Yeah.
they
So
have to join
the-
for year 1.
And they can join for year 4 also.
Yeah, it's more complicated because as
Okay.
they
So
have
year 1, they should promote year 1 direct admissions.
yeah,
So those who have
admissions
completed
postgrad.
HSC in India, they can go for 3 years in France and 1 year in America.
Exactly.
So they can see there are 3 options. One, you go after 12th standard, student can go to France for 3 years degree and look for career in France. Second, student can complete 4th year and get master's degree in 4 year also. And third, student can go to America and get a bachelor's degree from America as well as from France. So these are 3 options possible from CFAM, and the fees is 3,000 9,000 per year, so 36,000 euros for all 4 years, and you don't need to pay fees at once. You have to pay on a yearly basis.
Exactly.
Yes,
So CFAM, again, you need to understand that it is really an American business school. If you have students, you know, targeting US, but we know that US is quite expensive, you can definitely, you know, offer them this option. Honestly, it is an American school. Nobody speaks French. I mean, including meeting with parents are in English. It's US credit. It's just like being in the US, but in Lyon. Just like being in the US, but in Lyon.
yes, Rohit, next. Rohit, can we move, Rohit?
Right?
Yeah. Am I audible? Hello.
Oui. ICD, a Grande École Program. ICD, just to make it simple, ICD is a Grande École school, Ivy League, accredited, and famous for business development sales programs. They have this Master Grande École, 2 years duration, no possibility to join final year, 2 years duration, and the eligibility is an undergraduate in business, marketing, management, economy, something in you know, surrounding business administration. So as long as they have a bachelor in business or in business administration or marketing, they can apply to ICD. As long as they can apply to ICD, and this program will last 2 years and will lead a student to a program which is a grade de master, Grande École accredited.
Yes. I think there is some question posed by Mr. Raju. So
Yeah.
good that you are posting questions. We'll take the questions in the end of the session, and we'll clear each and every doubt. So we wanted to keep it very interactive. So you can talk to us also, or you can type your questions, and we'll have a very dedicated question and answer session in the end of the webinar.
Okay, MSc is also providing not just a program Grande École in 2 years, as we've seen before. They also provide an MSc, which is accredited Conférence des Grandes Écoles. It's an 18-month duration program with a focus on business development, international trade. It's in Paris. That's it. Basically, getting back to this MSc ICD, it's 3 semesters. They have 2 semesters of classes and 1 semester of internship and, and dissertation and project.
So, ma'am, we are at the end of the direct programs. It was a lengthy presentation for you. I thank you for your extraordinary effort of running us through all these slides. And now I invite upon Professor David Parker to run us through the programs offered by IDRAC.
Dhanyavad, Rohit. So thank you very much for this opportunity to present specifically on my side IDRAC Business School. Myself, I am professor at IDRAC. IDRAC is a member of the FIGS Group and HEP Education Organization, but myself, I'm dedicated to the IDRAC Business School. So let me give you some context about IDRAC Business School itself. It was founded in 1965. It has more than 55 years of legacy, 10,000 partner schools and partnering companies, especially just 2 months ago, we have signed an exclusive partnership with Coca-Cola here in France. So we're very glad about the network of companies that we have here in IDRAC. We have more than 25,000 alumni around the globe and more than 600 expert faculties. So our programs are accredited by French Ministry of Higher Education. This is the concept of visa, I guess you are aware. So visa, Higher Education Ministry accreditation. And on the other hand, you have RNCP. RNCP is Employment Ministry or Labor Ministry, if you prefer, who accredits as well programs on their side. So we have 2 types, sometimes the same, both ministries accredited programs, and then Employment Ministry accredited programs. So these are European-wide accredited degrees. RNCP level 7 at the highest rank. There can be some confusion about France from time to time due to the fact that there used to be a standard classification of degrees here in France regarding RNCP levels. So sometimes, well, an MBA could be level 1 or level 7. Now, new standard here is set up in France, which is a European standard. So level 7 is most high recognition level. Above that, there is the PhD, which is even higher, which is RNCP level 8. But here we're talking about mostly RNCP level 7 programs. So our programs, of course, are taught in English, mostly. Bordeaux itself, like many other institutions which are there in HEP, 9 campuses in 9 metropolitan cities in France. So Bordeaux, which is becoming a very well-known destination worldwide, but also Grenoble, Lyon, Montpellier, Nantes, Nice, Paris, of course, capital of love, and Toulouse. We also have 6 associate campuses in Europe and in Asia. We have Dublin in Ireland, Cork as well, which is in Ireland, it's very difficult to pronounce for me, in Czech Republic, Barcelona and Santander in Spain, and of course, Pune in India. On the next slide, you will see some different pictures of our campuses, except for Toulouse Campus, and because this is the City Hall and the Opera House of our campus in Toulouse. However, it's a very modern type of building there in Toulouse. Different sizes, of course, the biggest campus being the one in Lyon. It's an entire block which is occupied by our Lyon campus. So starting with the Bachelor in Business and Marketing, which is overall 3 years. The program overview is that this Bachelor in Marketing and Business at IDRAC is a 3-year program focused on preparing students for managerial roles in marketing and business. It is 180 ECTS credits, of which the first 120 credits will be covered in the Indian campus. This bachelor's program is taught 100% in English, of course. Students joining IDRAC campus will attend the 3rd-year program in the French campus. 2 years Pune, 1 year France. The program provides students with a unique combination of theoretical and practical skills. IDRAC also offers a 6-month internship to the students, enabling them to learn and develop and implement professional skills. This is highly regarded in France, having some internship. So the location is India and then Lyon. Overall, 3 years. Eligibility to HSC students, we will be discussing that slightly later, and overall fee is 20,800 euros. We will cover the details of the program if you have further questions later about this one. Then other option is there, the Bachelor in Business and Marketing 1 year. So this is the final year of Bachelor in Marketing and Business at IDRAC. It's a 1-year program focused on preparing students for the same overall type of jobs. It is 60 ECTS program, and the program offers a 6-month internship. So the location is in Lyon, 1 year. Eligibility, it requires BAC +2 versus HSC previously, and overall fee is 9,000 euros. Next program. Yes,
David, just please excuse me. Actually, Benedict ma'am needs to take a leave from the meeting. So I would like to express the vote of thanks from my side. Himali and Avdi ma'am, Benedict ma'am would be leaving the meeting now.
Sorry, I need to join another meeting, so I will have to leave. You are in good hand. Thank you, David, for taking over. And any question, feel free to contact the team in Pune. They're super qualified and extremely professional. Merci. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you have, okay, Benedict ma'am, thanks a lot from our side. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So if we have any queries, you can post them and we will take them at the end of the session on behalf of Benedict ma'am as well. Thank you. So David, I request you to please take this ahead from here now. I'm sorry to put an abrupt pause.
Quite bad name. So let's move on to the Master Grande Ecole program. So it is one type of master's degree. We have MBAs alongside this. It shouldn't be confused. So Master Grande Ecole program, 2 years program. This program is the flagship program of IDRAC Business School. It is recognized by Ministry of Higher Education, therefore a visa, and also Ministry of Employment, therefore RNCP, alongside this. So it's highest degree, highest recognition of possible here in France. After a selective entrance examination, students smoothly integrate the management tools necessary to become tomorrow's business managers in international corporations. Few programs offer the possibility of learning by doing while guaranteeing academic excellence, international awareness, and a network of more than 20,000 alumni. A 6-month internship period is at least required along or at the end of the academic curriculum. All students have access to the school's corporate relations office and its resources. What are the potential careers after that? With more than 17,000 alumni and 85% employment rate post-graduation within 3 months after receiving the degree, this program leads to middle management and top management positions. Many alumni work on global careers, 29% being in Asia, 24% in North America, and 27% on the African continent. So location will be in Lyon only, tenure 2 years in Lyon, eligibility required back +3, therefore already a bachelor's degree, and the fees are 21,000 euros. Then in India campus, to summarize what has previously been discussed, not only master's programs are there, but also bachelor in marketing and business, of course, to prepare for France, MBA in wine industry management, MBA in international business management, MBA in computer science, and also MBA in management and entrepreneurship. So let's discuss education beyond borders. In bachelor's in marketing and business at IDRAC, it is a 3 years program, 180 ECTS credits, specialized undergraduate program designed to provide students with expertise in marketing and sales. The program is offered in a twin city model. The first and second year of the program is in India campus in Pune, and the third year program in France. Third year of the program is in France. So the highlights of the program: awarded visa accreditation, higher education ministry, therefore, ranked #1 in Pan-India Times by B School Survey 2020, ranked #7 in France, accredited by French Ministry of Labour and Higher Education. There's intensive French language training and certification, which is absolutely required in most cases to get a job in France. 100% courses are taught in English, of course, 180 ECTS credits program, and therefore visa extension option, which is very important here because it's 2-year visa extension, and internships and summer projects are also offered. So overall, first year in Pune, 60 ECTS credits in the our Indian campus. So several business and marketing and sales topics and general culture models courses are taught. Then 1 month internship or project with then year #2, second year, an extra 60 ECTS credits. Once again, several business, marketing, sales, management topics, and then a 2-month internship or project with the departure for France afterwards. In France will be third year, 60 ECTS credits at the end, and a 4-month internship. And then there is more in-depth business strategy, which is taught there in the third year of the curriculum, more finance and other topics, once again, in business. Therefore, really requires students to be dedicated all along their education. They need to do academic achievements to be able to effectively first point, get their degree in France and therefore get a job in France. Who can apply for all these programs? Students with an HSC degree from a recognized board of education, state board, CBSE, international board, or ICSE. Then about our MBA in wine industry management. France is the global capital of the wine industry. It's definitely part of the French culture. Yesterday in class, this student asked me, "Oh, professor, how is it that the French are always talking about North France, East France, Southwest France, Southeast France?" And together we made the link that, well, each side of France has its specific wine making region. So France and wine have a very long history together. The global industry is in France of 3,000 INR crores. The wine market in France is expected to continue growing nearly two-digit figures. So that's really big growth. France is the #1 producer of wine by volume, and I would also say there are many wine producers in France who are also positioned in the luxury segment. So, of course, you already heard about Champagne, I guess, and Champagne is PGI here in France. So, wine exporting, France is a huge wine exporter. You might have heard of Rémy Martin, Hennessy, Moet & Chandon, Pernod Ricard. Maybe you know about the LVMH group. Louis Vuitton is part of a huge corporation where you also have Hennessy, which is a luxury cognac, and Moet & Chandon, Champagne, which are also luxury products. Cheval Blanc is another type of wine here. Maybe Saint-Emilion wines, Pomerol wines, all these wines are really important. So what we do in this program is consider the business side of wine. It's not about making wine. The winemakers here have their traditions, have their expertise. It's really a science, it's chemistry. So it's kind of one side of agribusiness, if you wish. What we offer at IDRAC Business School is wine business management. This is what is some sort lacking for people in the wine industry in France. They need people to develop their business, not only domestically, but internationally. So explore high-flying careers in this 300 billion global wine industry with the MBA in wine business management. So some topics in the syllabus: foresight and strategic analysis, risk management in negotiation, expansion, consolidation strategy. Really, as you can see, this is about business applied to wine. What are the career opportunities after this program? So wine product management. So it's really about the product itself, not making wine, but really selling the wine. Wine tourism as well. Bordeaux city is so famous. We have a big wine museum, which is called the Wine City, which attracts so many tourists worldwide. Of course, wine export and international trade. So definitely international trade in wine is huge, and estate management. So for example, managing a vineyard. Many vineyards in France do direct sales to customers. They also do organize visits for tourists or people who are curious about buying wine. And you need to understand that the wine industry in France is very traditional, and there are many middlemen. It's difficult to buy wine directly from a wine production plant. So many business options, career options are here. Alongside this MBA in wine business management, we also offer here in Bordeaux an MBA in international business, because they are linked at the same time. So it's an MBA in strategy and innovation, globally recognized master's program for students willing to embrace international careers. So it's 18 months in Bordeaux campus only. And the idea is really to have this idea of how to understand international business, to have a career in international business. Therefore, some of the topics which are there in the syllabus. So there's international contract law, international product launching, design thinking as well, in order to facilitate innovation. We have business games which are there, international supply chain management, also international transportation strategy, how to really optimize the logistical side of international business. So many topics are there, and what are the career opportunities after this MBA. Business strategy and design, brand management, international business development, international sales, risk management is also there. So this offers many opportunities. Many businesses are desperate for people who can help them in their international development. There is this this concept here in France where Indian people are very good at speaking English and the French are not so good. Therefore, having someone coming from India, having understanding of French culture, having a French degree would definitely be considered as a good resource to help the company expand internationally. So there are definitely, especially after this huge growth in the French economy after COVID situation, which is getting under control. There are many job opportunities here in France, and businesses are really looking for skills rather than only networking, or there's a shortage in human power here in France.
Okay. So David, thanks a lot for your address about IDRAC Business School and our programs. Now I invite upon Charu sir to address the session for the programs as well as IDRAC India campus. David, I would request you to stay tuned because there would be a lot of queries at the end of the session, which I think will require your perspective in as well. So
Yes,
you can start.
Rohit, thank you. So we have understood we have different kind of a program. I understand that this could be a little bit complicated for all our associates to understand, because we have under one group we have many different schools, and every school have different programs, and in the program we have master's levels, we have bachelor's level, and within master's and bachelor's level we have some direct entry programs, some program which are twin country programs. So it could be a little bit complicated, but the good part is once you get associated, once your counselors are get a full understanding of all the programs, you would have a very larger basket to offer to your clients. So Rohit, do I wanted to communicate the IPSI program also now from this slide I have to start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we apart from bachelor's and master's in management, we have one school which is dedicated for IT and IT management courses. So the school is IPSI and it's based in Paris, and you may be knowing that France and Paris is one of the very important IT hub in Europe, and French as a company have French as a country have understood that innovation and technology are the two important growth engines for their economy. So lots of emphasis is been given on innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology. So a lot of IT companies are French IT companies are getting promoted and progressing in various countries, and we have so many French IT companies in India also. So why India? We have so many IT companies in my city, Pune also. So we have Capgemini, we have Dassault, Atos, we have then I think it is not mentioned there, but we have a very big hospitality group called Novotel, and so many IT companies and French companies are based in India as well. So point here is France embraces IT, and there are lots of careers, lots of jobs available in IT. And on the other side, Indian student, there are so many Indian students, those who have done engineering or those who have done BCA, BCS, BSc Computer Science. All these students are looking for careers abroad. So this could be a good program, those who wanted to do careers in IT. So can we move ahead? So these are the topics. I think once we have a counselor meeting, we can go into detail. But this is all IT and IT management related programs like project management, data science, artificial intelligence, cyber security. These are the some of the important content of the program. And these are the job positions which are possible for our students in France or in Europe after completing these programs. And let me tell you that in India also we have a tendency for selecting typical people for a typical job. If you looked at for making a South Indian cuisine, we would like to have Anna or somebody from South. So similarly, because those people are we consider them as a master in that art. So similarly, Indians are considered as very good IT professionals in France, and this has come from US because in US we have so many Indians who have achieved top positions in IT company. The companies including Google, Microsoft, Adobe, they have Indians as their head. So there are around 20 large companies in US which are being headed by an Indian guy or a lady. So that's why in France also Indians are considered as very brilliant in IT, and that's why that's an added advantage for our student to do IT program in France. After IT program, we have entrepreneurship program. This is again a very unique program. MBA in entrepreneurship. The first semester is completed in India, and for the second year, student goes to France and complete the entrepreneurship program in Paris. So this program is a very unique program. Many students don't want to come back after completing the course. So after completing the program, you need to have in 2 years, you have 2 years time for job search visa, and in that you can look for a job. And good thing is in France, you can start your business also. All these schemes which are given by which are offered by government of France are available for our students also. So after this entrepreneurship program, student can go for job also and also file for entrepreneur visa also. So that's a very important point because this is an MBA in entrepreneurship. It doesn't mean that they should only go for entrepreneurship. They can also go for jobs. There are so many startup companies. There are so many successful startup companies like Uber, Facebook. These companies were startup at one point of time. These companies do prefer this kind of student, those who have entrepreneurial ability. At the same time, being an entrepreneur student, they can go for loans, they can go for subsidies and file an entrepreneur's visa in France also. So this is another very good program, and particularly from Gujarati background student, they do prefer family business management and entrepreneurship because many families wanted to wanted their children to come back to India and expand their business. For them also it is a good program, and those who wanted to continue staying there, for them also it is good program because this also opens an opportunity to file an entrepreneur visa also. Next program, Rohit. So eligibility for all the programs are there in one table. Let me tell you in short. For wine program and for international program and entrepreneurship program, the common thing is we need graduates. Common thing is we need graduates recognized by any recognized university in India. 3 years degree. It could be BCom, it could be BA, it could be BBA, it could be BCA, it could be BSc, it could be even 4-year degree like engineering or hospitality also. So there are some students which we preferred for particular program. For wine program, we prefer students from agro business, BSc Agri, BSc Biotechnology, BSc Food Technology, Hospitality, BSc in Hotel Management, BSc in Event Management. These students are preferred for wine business program. However, other student can also apply, but these students can get some scholarship, or this student can get some more preference for selection. MBA international business, all students can apply, but those who have done diploma in international trade or import export would have more advantage. Otherwise, all graduates, BSc, BCom, all graduate can apply. And entrepreneurship, everyone can apply, because entrepreneurship has no bar. A BBA guy can become an entrepreneur, a BSc guy can become an entrepreneur, or any person who is a graduate can apply for entrepreneurship program. However, for IT program, it's not that everybody can apply. Those who have done IT in their graduation, only those students can apply. For example, BSc computer science, BCA, MCA, or there are some universities offer commerce with IT kind of a programs. Only those students can apply for IPSI program, that is MBA in computer science and IT. Okay, those who have done 4 years, they can skip the India module and go directly to France. I will explain that fees difference and other difference in little bit. So remember that if you have completed 4 years, you can degree like engineering or any other 4 years degree or masters like MCA and all, you can directly go to France by skipping India model. Otherwise, you can do 6 months India model and go to final year in France. Regarding IELTS, we don't require IELTS as such if the medium of education is English, and if we found student is satisfactory while we are talking to them during our 2 interviews. If he is fluent, if he is answering the question properly, if he is understanding, he is able to express himself properly in English, then IELTS can be waived. But if we found that we are not able to judge him properly for English communication, then we might ask for 5.5 band IELTS score. A valid score in GMAT, GRE, and CAT will be a very added advantage. If you are not done GMAT, GRE, then the selection may take little long. You will have to explain, convince about the student needs to convince about his candidature more if he doesn't have appeared for any kind of exams like GMAT, GRE, or CAT. Now, let me also give you some idea about IDRAC Business School India campus. The campus is based in Pune. It's in heart of Pune, and it's based in very green and lavish campus in Pune. And it was set up 4 years back, and it was inaugurated by the Consul General of France, Miss Sonia Babri. And we have got very good support from the embassy and the Campus France and Alliance Française. So this is the campus. Rohit, can we move? So many students can ask you question about why to go to India campus when most of the programs are available directly. Our students can go to France and complete the program there. Why one should go to first Pune and then from there to France? So there are 3 advantages which are very distinct, and I would like you to understand these 3 advantages, and you should able to convince your student about these 3 advantages. If the student convinced, let him come to India model. If he still wants to go to France directly, no problem. You can, if he is qualified, you can ask him to apply for direct France entry also. So what are the 3 advantages? First advantage is cost advantage. Second advantage is career advantage. And third advantage is comfort or convenience advantage. Let us understand each and every advantage closely. See, for bachelor's level or master's level, in both level this is available. In master's level, student does first year of masters, that is 60-80 credit point in India in 6 months of time, and then go to France for 1 year in France. In that 1 year also, he gets 1 internships and 1 semester he studies in the class. And in bachelor's, he can complete 1 or 2 years in India, and he can go to second or third year in France. The second year entry is subjected to availability of seats, but third year he can definitely go to France. So the cost advantage here is like in masters and bachelors in both the program, students save huge money because they are completing 1 year in India, and the India fees is comparatively low. Plus, they are saving the living cost of France. Staying in France is quite expensive than staying in Pune. So in cumulative, they save around 18 to 19,000 euros. Now 18 to 19,000 euro in today's price is roughly 17-18 lakh rupees. In your board, in your screen, it is showing 14-15 lakh, but it is at that time euro was 70 rupees. Now euro is 85 rupees, 87 rupees. So it is almost saving of 17-18 lakh rupees for a master's program, which is very, very huge. In bachelor's also, they save substantial around 20 lakh rupees in 3 years they save. So the first benefit is saving money by spending some time in India for same education, for same degree. You save lot of money. Particularly in bachelor cases, this 19 lakh rupees is quite useful for student for his future plans, for business, for settlement, for further studies, for for in the parent perspective, he can complete his second daughter or son's education in this saving. So in Indian term, एक लड़के के cost में पढ़ाई में 2 लड़कों का पढ़ाई हो जाता है. If you send one student directly, it will be equivalent to of having 2 children studying in this model. So there is a lot of saving. The point is there is a lot of saving. If you have any questions, we'll definitely take on this, because these are very important points which you should able to convince to your counselors first, and your counselor should able to express properly to the students. The second is career advantage, because when a student goes to any new country, not only in France, he may be going to America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, anywhere. Everything is new for the student. The environment is new, the people are different, the etiquettes, mannerisms are different, the general behavior patterns are different, legal systems are different, currency is different, food is different, everything is different. So it is like you go to a different world, and you take a lot of time to get acclimatized, to get adjust into that environment. And during that time, if you could not survive or something, if you could not take those shocks, you create a kind of a negativity, and that negativity doesn't allow you to succeed further. And we see many students comes back from abroad, and then they have to settle in very small kind of jobs in India, because their confidence level has gone down a great deal. So what happens in this program, that in first 6 months in master's case, or in bachelor in first couple of years, we provide all the information which is required to excel in the career. First is the French language. You learn language so you can gel with the people in a better way. You can give interviews in a better manner. You can apply to so many more places because you are good in the language. Second thing, you know everything in India itself, how to apply for a part-time job, how to apply for internships, how to in fact, what are the rules of college, which is different from India. So in college also, you should not face any kind of difficulty. Then the laws regarding accommodation or other things which take a lot of time for Indian students to get adjusted there, which becomes very easy. Then you have our senior students from the same batch, those who have come from India in earlier time, they also help you in their companies. So by spending these 6 months or in master's case or 2 years in bachelor case, you get to know much more about France. You get to know much more about how to get a job. You get to know what you need to do for a part-time job. Many things are told to you very clearly right from India, and you go with a better confidence, with good knowledge of France and French language, which gives you a good start, which is likely to end in a good job or good internship, and your life becomes very, you become strong enough to take all the cultural and environmental shocks which a general student faces anywhere in the world, not only in France. So this way, if you do sometime in France, definitely the chances of you getting part-time job, you getting internships and a good job are quite higher than if you go directly and struggle for the first few months for basic things, and then learning, जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं धक्के खा के सीखना पड़ता है, and then you start going up. So that all gets saved, and with very better understanding of the country and about job scenario, you are more equipped. Whatever is good there, whatever is not so good there, right from India itself, and your prepared mindset helps you to deal with the situation, and that ability to deal with all the situation and that confidence is it improves your chances of success many folds if you spend good time in India and go prepared. So that's the career advantage. And the third is comfort advantage. In comfort advantage, what happens is you spend a good 6 months for masters and 2 years for bachelor program. During that time, you learn language, you know how what are the visa rules, because those rules keep changing every now and then. And the campus France is associated with IDRAC India campus. Their manager is generally very, very helpful. She keeps coming to the campus, give you direct information. You don't need to rely on any secondary source of information. You get the information right from Campus France. Apart from visa, we have a lot of banks who are connected to us. So you get the bank loan facility and everything right in the campus. They do visit the campus, get your documents and guide you. Then your faculties help you a great deal about the culture in France. What the French faculties in particular, they guide you about how you should change your behavior, what are the good things in you, what are the things that weakness that you have and which you need to work upon. Then we also help you in during these 6 months. We help you for accommodation, because we have our old student there, and this old student plus we have a dedicated person who is appointed for Indian student in France. That student helps you before your departure from India. Like that there are some formalities that you have to do, like CIVEC and all that. Those formalities are told to you in advance. What are the documents that you might require there for opening bank account, for getting credit card? All those things are told to you while while studying itself. You don't need to go here and there. So then you don't go alone. When you go from India Center, you go in batches. So there are batches of 10, 15, 20 students, and these students are your friends. You have spent good time with them, so you know to whom you are going to share the room. Plus there are old students, your senior students, they are also there. So entirely you have a support system for everything, and it is relatively very, very comfortable and hassle-free process of migrating from India to France. So this is the comfort advantage. So you save money, huge money. Then your chances of good career increases by spending good time in India in Pune Center, and this process becomes quite hassle-free and convenient, becomes very convenient if you spend good time. So these are the 3 advantages which we would like you to communicate to the students. After understanding these 3 advantages, if they still wanted to go directly, it is their choice. We can respect them, and you can send the student for direct application. Okay, so these were 3 advantages which are very, very crucial for this thing. And for good student, quality student going through IDRAC India Center, we have a scholarship also, and total scholarship kitty is 100,000 euros, which are available for masters and bachelor programs for throughout 1 year in 2022. But it is not mandatory that every student would get the scholarship. There is a formula, there are some criteria based on which student may get the scholarship. The student may get scholarship of 500 or 1,000 euro also, or 5,000 or 10,000 euro also. It depends on his academic credentials. It depends on his work experience. It depends on his relevancy of his education and job to the course. It depends on his exposure, if he has done any international job or international course, if he knows French already. So there are a lot of parameters. Based on those parameters and based on the 2 interviews, the scholarship is decided. But this is an added advantage for good student, those who are good student. Good means those who have experienced student, those who are passed out from good universities. So those students can expect some scholarship which is really helpful for them. And this scholarship is offered for paying their academic fees, for paying their visa expenses, for paying their air travel expenses, or also we can also pay the scholarship once they reach there in France for their living expenses. So the amount of scholarship and the purpose of scholarship is not fixed, decided. It based on the student candidature.
Charu sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've covered the entire presentation, and whatever process remains is about the admission and other things. We are running short of the time. So shall we open the session for question and answers now?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So Himali, I think we can take up the queries now. If any of the associates have any queries, they can
Yes,
simply
Rohit.
post on the. Yeah.
They can have their queries in the chat box because they are in the muted mode. So, we can answer them on a while.
Okay. So there was first query from Mr. Rajul Upadhyay. It's in regards to I think the CFAM program. So he's wanting to understand whether the student can complete 2 years in France and then go for 3rd year in Canada. So as far as my knowledge,
no, it is 3 years in France and 4th year
yes.
in US.
Canada is also available, but majorly it is US.
Mr. David, no, sorry, Mr. Rajul, I'm sorry. You can get the student after 12th HSC for 3 years masters in 3 years bachelors in France in CFAM, and after completing 3 years of bachelor, the student can go to America. Majority schools in America which are AACSB accredited schools, and some schools in Canada for the 4th year. After 4th year of completing successfully study in America or in Canada, he gets degree from America as well as from France.
Any other
Have I
queries?
answered you? Avni and Himali, if you have any queries, you can also ask, because you can ask verbally also. Probably that will also help others.
Sure, Charu, definitely we will.
Because we understand it was a very lengthy presentation because so many schools and so many programs were there. So
Yes, we totally understand because you need to explain about, all the schools in detail. So it's totally a lengthy presentation. Thanks to you all. Thanks for your valuable time.
So there is a question from Mr. Ramesh. Is it possible to do 2 years in India and 1 in France and 1 year in America? So a 3-country program is what he would like to understand. So probably,
I think, see, as far as I know, CFAM, you cannot go to 3rd year. You can go to only 4th year. from India. So probably we can check if we can do 2 years in India, third year IDRAC, and fourth year in US. If IDRAC has any kind of a linkage, we need to check and come back to you. At the moment, we're not able to answer this question. This is not
David, would you
possible in
like?
David, do you have anything to add?
I'm yes, it is. I wouldn't say better than what you've just said, sir. Okay.
So Ramesh, it's an interesting question. We'll get back to you as we get. We'll send your query to Fix, and we'll work out with whatever school, if it is possible. We'll let you know.
So there is a question in the Q&A section about whether we provide career support to students after program completion, after graduation.
Who's asking this question?
So it's in the Q&A section, so it's the name is not there.
Okay. Yeah. So in France, I think he's asking in France only. Once the course is over, we have a career team, a dedicated career guidance team there in every campus, and these people, they help students right from the beginning. They try to give them all the support, or they give an idea about how they have to prepare their resume, how they have to present themselves in the companies, and in the end of the curriculum, once the course is over, the placement services are offered to all the students. But it is not like in India. In India, we have huge number of companies coming to campus, and there is a large gala, and the student get so many offers. And in my college, in the Lotus, every student has more than 5 offers, and student need to pick which job he would like to take. But it is not like that in France. Here, the career department would provide you some contacts. You will have to approach the companies, go for the interviews, and once you get selected, you can go for job. If you won't get selected, you have to come back to the department, and they will even try further, and they will provide you multiple opportunities, and within those opportunities, you will have to get selected somewhere. Is it right, David, or you would like to add or subtract something?
Definitely, that is a clear description of French context here. The college will only, or university will only provide some guidance. You need to understand that culture in France is very much more individualistic. So in France, you need to make your own space, and therefore apply and find contacts, create your own network. There will be some guidance, some help, some coaching on what are the do's and don't do's. But even our French students go through exactly the same process. So as we say in Rome, do like the Romans.
So it is like, the placement processes are identical in IDRAC or any other good colleges in France. So it's not that we have something very different process than others. It is a general process which has been followed by all top schools in France and all major Western countries. In India, the market is different. In Europe, the market is different. So we have a very good placement percentage. If you looked at our website, we keep publishing our figures. I think the current figure that we are published is around more than 90-95% of our students gets jobs after a few months after completing their degree. So IDRAC is one of the very prominent school in terms of placement also. However, the support structure is a little bit different than what we have in India.
So there is a second question about the stay back. Is the stay back available for every program offered by the mentioned schools? All the programs that we mentioned.
Yes, all the master's program that we have mentioned are RNCP level 1 program, and all our students are eligible for visa extension. And India and France in last some years, particularly from last around 7-8 years, have come very, they have come very close politically also and socially also. And because of that, Indian students have a privilege of 1 additional year of job search visa. So all our master's students and those who have completed the program, it may be from India center to France or directly to the France, they are eligible for visa extension.
Just, I would like to correct one point because it can be confusing. RNCP is level 7 according to EU standards, to the European standards. However, according to French previous standards, it was RNCP level 1. This can be a bit confusing, but this is the equivalent of master's degree, just to make everything clear. Master's degree, RNCP level 7.
Yeah,
Therefore,
very valid point. So you need to understand it's a top level.
Yeah.
It's a top level. Yeah.
So there is a question in regards to campus accommodation, India as well as France.
Yes, in India, we have a fixed hostel, which are not very far from the campus. Mind you that our campus in the heart of city. So naturally, when you are in heart of city, the real estate prices are bit high, but we have managed to secure some hostels which provides accommodation at economic rate to our student. And we also have some agencies who can provide accommodation, because some students have special requirements. So if they want very special lavish accommodation, then they can get it. But normal accommodation with twin sharing or triple sharing is arranged by the campus for the student. So we provide all the details. Once the student confirm the admission, we connect the student with the hostel guy. The hostel guy provides all the detail, including photographs and everything, and the distance and all. And if the student likes it, from his place, his destination, his city, he can book the accommodation. Similarly, for France also, while the students are in India campus, we provide them the option. If they have their relatives, friends, through them, if they wanted to manage their accommodation, they can do on their own. There are lots of websites where student can self-help himself. And then we have our students also, senior students also. In fact, some of our old students have their own flats there, and they also provide accommodation. So with the help of our team and our students, we provide assistance for getting an accommodation.
Okay, so I don't see any further questions. Himali, are there any queries? Should we proceed to concluding the call?
Yeah, Rohit, I think they had asked
Rohit,
most
can you
probably all the questions.
come on the camera for a minute, please?
Just a second, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So, guys, today's presentation could be a little lengthy and confusing for many of you. So, Rohit is a single point of contact for Western India and Northern India. He handled all the key accounts for IDRAC India campus for all the programs. So, there could be some doubts which you may not have expressed and asked, but please feel free to connect with Rohit. Rohit can put his mobile number and email ID in the chat box. With the permission of joining campus, you can definitely contact us, and we can even arrange a specialized training for your group also. Suppose a particular agency wanted to a training for their counselor, with the approval of joining campus, we can arrange that also. So we are, in fact, if you have students, and because France could be new for some agencies, and if you want our help for counseling, for anything, our counselors can also help you also. So India Center is readily available for any help which you may need. Of course, you need to consult the people from Join in Campus, and then you can contact us at any point of time. We are more than happy to help you.
Sure, Charu, will definitely look forward for that type of webinars in future. And thank you so much today for your valuable time. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. It was really nice and very, very informative. Thanks to you, Rohit and David, all three of you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Himali. So I believe we can conclude the call for today. I thank Himali as well as Avni ma'am from Join in Campus for organizing this meet, as well as David and Charu sir and Benedict ma'am for taking the time out to share the information. And let's close the call for the day then.
Sure,
Merci.
Rohit. Thank you so much, all of you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Merci. Au
Yeah,
revoir.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.